Hiya, welcome to another video of campervan maintenance. Obviously I primarily do all my work on Ivecos. This is just to let you know what I'm doing next. I'm going to replace the caliper, the disc, and put new pads on as well. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to whip the wheel off and everything. I'm assuming that if you're watching this you've got pretty much a fairly decent idea of mechanics. There we go. And the same with the other one underneath here as well. On with the spanner. There we go. I've already there we go. And that's them away. So I'll get a socket on them now. These two bolts that you can see there, 12mm, just loosen them, and once you take them off the disc will slide straight off. That's all been cleaned now, so that's nice and smooth, because a bit of grease goes on there and the pads go on there so they can slide back and forth while they're inside the caliper. So that, as long as that's nice and clean, same with the other side. And then we can put some grease on that ready. I've now taken the sliders out, and although they come lubricated, but I'm going to put some more grease on them, push the sliders back in and then put the screws in. Then what I'll do is I'll mount the caliper onto here then, ready. What I've done is just put the caliper cradle on, while the shoes go in, and just feeling that, so the sliders are working nice there. You can feel them going up and down nice and easy there. You'll notice there I've added a secondary spring to help pull this back into place, because this is what causes it to stick. So I've put a hole there, and so when it's actually in place you've got the springs that hold it and pull it back into its return position, and you've got one there that's pulling it from that angle to make sure it goes into its return position as well. Right, line that up and then it's in. So nip that up with 12mm. You don't have to go crazy nipping this up, just make sure it's nipped, because you've got 5 bolts that are going to hold that in. Right, the caliper obviously taken off. I cracked that before. That's the bleed nipple, sorry, the where the brake line goes in, the bleed nipple's around the other side. Cracked that first before I took the caliper off, because the last thing you want to do is have that in your hand and then be messing with it. So while it's on there secure, crack that and then obviously take the caliper off and you're ready to go. So obviously what I'm going to do there, take that off now, and what I'll do is I'll actually spin the caliper around, and then I'll hoist the brake pipe up so it's up high, and then I'll fit the new caliper onto it now. Right, the new caliper is on. I've just yet to put the pads in, so all I've done is attached the brake pipe, opened up the bleed nipple there just so that it just gently starts filling up the chamber, so it saves on bleeding, and then I'll be ready to put the pads in there and then attach her up and she's ready. I'll attach the handbrake cable to here, and she's good to go then. She'll be ready for a small amount of bleeding, obviously. That's all on, happy with that, everything's secured, so it's time to tighten up the 2 bolts now. It makes such a difference when the weather's with you as well. There we go. And then the bottom one as well. Once that's in. Nice. All I need to do is just nip them with the spanner, thus. That. There we go. Now, remember I told you I did an extra spring, and that is what I'm just attaching to the caliper now. So, I'll get that through that wee hole. There we go. And that's it there, look. Just a secondary spring, look, on that. So I drilled that there. So obviously you got the return spring, which is down there, which is pulling that forward or back, and that is just a little bit of extra just to help it. I found that it prevents seizing in the long run. Okay, it's time to put it back together now. So everything's been done. I've bled the system. Everything appears to be fine. The handbrake works. Everything's good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go over the other side. I'm going to bleed that system again, because I wasn't convinced I did a good job yesterday. And that should be it. Brakes done. New pads, new discs, new calipers, all swinging. Ready for winter.